Welcome to Insights into Insurance with Tom Sorensen of Americana Insurance Group. All information provided is educational in nature and not intended to be acted upon without first consulting the appropriately licensed professional.
It's another Saturday morning. That means it's time for Insights into Insurance here on 1450 KATE. Mike White is along with Tom Sorensen from Americana Insurance. Good morning, Tom.
Hey, good morning, Mike. How are you doing today?
I'm doing wonderful, and of course, we always kick the program off with an email, and so let's do that this morning.
Let's do it.
Hello, Insights into Insurance. Last week, I heard your show with Abby Leach, the attorney, about wills and probate. It got me thinking of what does power of attorney and executor's responsibilities when it comes to people passing away. I believe I am both with my parents, but I really do not understand exactly what my responsibilities are. Can you help answer this for me? Thank you, Carl.
Well, Carl, just like last week, I think it was, Margaret that asked a bunch of questions in one question. Well, I think we got a few questions in this question.
Absolutely.
So which is great, Carl. This is an awesome email and awesome question. So, well, guess what? Last week, we had a very special guest, one that we always use when it comes to legal knowledge and things like that, and that was Abby Leach. Do you guess who our special guest is this week, Mike?
I see her sitting across from me. Back by popular demand, we did get some phone calls. Abby Leach from the Leach office, law office, is with us again this morning.
Hey, good morning, Abby.
Good morning, Tom. Thanks for having me back again.
Oh, yes. I hope you're not sick of me yet. So.
No. I think I'm beating you in the NCAA tournament, too.
I'm still in last place. So, yeah.
That was ugly. Good one, Abby.
Yeah. You know, I shouldn't have brought it up, but it's one of those things. I'm not very proud of my picks, that's for sure. So we're talking about Carl's question here, and power of attorney and executors and all that good stuff. So what is a power of attorney?
Yeah, so these are great questions because most people come into my office and don't really understand what they mean, and they've been called many different things, and it's kind of confusing. Power of attorney usually takes place, it's valid the moment that you sign the document. So if I was Tom's power of attorney today and he wrote it up, I'd sign it today and it would be valid today until Tom passes away.
You would have a lot of troubles there.
That's why I have not signed your power of attorney. But the difference with the power of attorney and executor and personal representative is power of attorney ends when you pass away. At that point, when you pass away, your will dictate who your executor or your personal representative is. So like we talked about last week, if you don't have a will, the court has a procedure to pick your executor.
Right. Okay. So that's how that's done. We'll get to that. So can there be more than one person on I'll say a POA, power of attorney? So if I say POA, folks, that's what I mean is power of attorney.
Yeah, you can have multiple people on the power of attorney. With that, you can also have them if you want them to act all together. So say you have two and they both have to sign the documents, or you can have them act independently. So if Tom and I were both on a power of attorney, Tom could sign it or I could sign a document. So it just depends how you want to set it up.
So are there different types? So example, let me say I want to do my folks' banking, but my brother wants to do, I don't know, some other
real estate.
Real estate, yeah. Could we do that?
Yeah, yep. So you can dictate out who you want to do separate things with. You can make them limited. So really, I think there's about 9 powers that a power of attorney can give you. So it ranges from things like real estate or banking to things like insurance, which you probably deal with quite a bit.
Absolutely, we do, yes.
And then also other things like police reports and getting statements, things like that.
Okay.
So yeah, you can dictate out who you want to do things, and also you can do that with personal representatives, things like that also.
Okay. I should have you be my POA on picking my NCAA pool. That's what I should have had, Abby. Yeah.
Next year. I'll remember that.
Next year, yeah. We'll do that. So
mental notes.
Yeah.
Abby Leach from the Leach Law Office will be doing Tom Sorensen from Americana Insurance NCAA pool next year. We
Yeah.
now have that on
Yeah,
record.
because last place is no fun. So anyway, but so back to the serious talk, I guess here. So they are good from when they are executed.
Yep.
And then you say once a person passes away, then it goes away?
Yep,
The
yep.
POA?
Yep, that's when the power of attorney stops. You can't use it anymore. And then your executor or personal representative step in with your estate. So usually with a probate, which we talked about last week, to become the executor or the power of attorney, it takes a little bit of time. The court gets involved. They send you a lovely form that says, hey, congratulations, you've been accepted as the personal representative. That allows you to do all the things that the power of attorney could do back before they passed away.
Question for you, Abby. So we're talking power of attorney. So once that person has passed away, now there's no will. And so what is the step then? All of a sudden they realize that, yes, they were a power of attorney. My spouse, my loved one, my child has passed away. We know that that goes by. There was no will. You have to go back in now and create a will to find out who the executor of the state's going to be?
Nope. So with that process, you would contact either us. If you wanted to attempt the probate process by yourself, contact the courts. That's when the probate paperwork gets filed and a probate is open. The judge will look at who the family members are and decide who's the best person to be the personal representative.
Will they consider the POA in the court system?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great thing to bring up, is saying, my parents picked me to do this and they trusted me, and you have the most knowledge of what they had. And also communicating that to the rest of your family is huge, just because being a personal representative is not fun. It's a lot of paperwork.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah, it's not glamorous.
So is an executor and a personal representative the same thing?
Yeah, so there's a lot of different terms for it. Personal representative, executor. Usually, back in the older days, they'd call them executors. We see it a lot now with executors are usually corporate. So you can have like a Wells Fargo be your personal representative or executor, things like that. But they're the same thing.
Oh,
Just depends.
so personal representative is more the
Hip.
political correct way to say it nowadays.
The hip term.
The hip term. There we go. So okay. So all right. So on a power of attorney, what if somebody is abusing their power? What can be done?
Yeah, so sadly this happens quite frequently. Another family member might think the power of attorney is spending the money incorrectly, or they know they are. There's proof. That's where we get the courts involved. We file a lawsuit against them saying they're abusing their powers, and the judge will make that decision. And if it's true that they are abusing it, they spent money for their own good or did things they weren't supposed to, the judge can actually have a judgment against them.
And one of the things that we've seen in the news world lately is elder abuse. And people think of elder abuse or those people in a nursing home, but it can also apply to this as well. Elder abuse can go into the power of attorneys.
Yeah, and that happens quite frequently. Sadly, we're seeing a lot. My office is seeing a lot of it. And just financial abuse, which happens quite frequently. So
I hear about it a lot in my office too.
Yeah,
Yes.
so it's a sad thing, and that's kind of, I try to communicate with everybody who comes in for a power of attorney is make sure you trust the person on there. And I try to communicate if that power of attorney is there, what can happen if you abuse it. So
let's just say, if I'm just worst case scenario, and I hear these things going on all the time. So one child is the power of attorney for an elderly parent. The next child comes in and says, "Hey, Mom, I think I should be the power of attorney now," and changes that paperwork, and they might, who knows, they might not be of sound mind.
Yep.
Can that be done?
If they came into my office, I would make sure that Mom or whoever was doing it is of sound mind and gets what's going on. Okay. Sometimes at that point, I would suggest an outside party being the power of attorney. So Senior Resources in town is amazing. They take it on. They help out with things like that. Or it's time to maybe look into a guardianship.
Another question, Abby, as we're listening to Insights into Insurance talking probate, you have a power of attorney, and that power of attorney person has passed away before the person that you're power of attorney to does that have to start the whole process over again?
So if they were named as the power of attorney, we would just have to start a new or get a new power of attorney form, unless you had a secondary or a successor on your power of attorney, and we try to encourage that also.
The next thing on power of attorney, well, a lot of things are need to be looked at other than power of attorney. But Mike, I think you're saying we need to take a break so then we can come back and talk about healthcare directives?
Absolutely. We want to make sure we get this out as well on this Saturday morning. So let's take a quick break. We're visiting with Abby Leach from the Leach Law Office and Tom Sorensen from Americana Insurance. You're listening to Insights into Insurance here on Kate 1450.
Got that new home edition and you're keeping it covered.
Ooh, Brad, I can help with coverages. Man-to-man coverage, zone coverage, combo coverage.
I don't know, Peyton. I was thinking the types of coverages that your nationwide agent offers.
Oh, like home, auto, business, life, farm, boat, your tour bus.
Products availability varies by state, agent, and other factors. Nationwide Mutual Insurance Company, Columbus, Ohio.
For all your many sides, there's Nationwide. Call Americana Insurance Group at Albert Lea and Wells today.
Welcome back to Insights into Insurance here on 1450 KATE. Tom Sorensen along with our special guest for the second week in a row. It's Abby Leach from the Leach Law Office.
Yeah, I think we can make a whole year's shows with Abby here. This is some good information she's given us. So, well, Abby, we're going to just start the healthcare directive. What is a healthcare directive?
Yeah, I get a lot of people that come into my office and say, I have a medical power of attorney, or I call them, and there's no right or wrong, a healthcare directive. What a healthcare directive is it allows somebody to make medical decisions for you when you can't, and then also allows people to actually get information on you. With HIPAA, we kind of have restrictions on what can be said over the phone and who gets information.
A lot of restrictions.
Yep.
Yeah.
So this helps kind of eliminate those restrictions and allows your family members or close friends to get that information on you.
And it also gives you a directive how you want to be treated in case of if you're what do you want to say? Incapacitated and things like that.
Yeah.
So is that right?
Yep.
Okay.
So we have lots of options of how you would like to proceed if something happened to you medically.
And usually people do this when they do their will a lot of times, right? This kind of goes hand in hand a lot of times.
Yep. Yeah, we do like packages where it comes with the will, the power of attorney, and healthcare directive.
Okay. All right. So do you give this healthcare directive to your primary care hospital, or what do you do with it once it's done?
Yeah, so Mayo Clinic here in Albert Lea, if you put it on record, it is throughout the whole Mayo system. So if you go down to Phoenix and go to Mayo there, it should show up down there. But also if you travel somewhere else, if you go down to Texas or something like that, bring it with you and put it in the hospital that you would work at down there.
Okay, that's what I was wondering. What do they do if they don't have the form with them, or if they don't know what's on there? So it's at my attorney's office or something like that. So basically, then they got to treat you to try to keep you alive, or however they would normally do it, I suppose.
Yep, exactly. And that's the nice thing is if it's on record somewhere, usually Mayo would give it to another hospital, we'd hope. But if you can bring it with you if you travel to different states, that's the best thing.
Tom, let's ask you, what are you looking for as far as the insurance side of it?
Yeah, and and we have people pass away, or we have people that are no longer able to take care of their insurance anymore, or their financial things. And some people might come in and say, hey, I'm here for my mom, I got to do this. And we need to have a POA form, or find out if they're the executor of the estate or whatever. And those are documents that are very important that we need. That we just can't hand out information to just hand out information.
You're very sympathetic to the issue, but you have to follow the law and the HIPAA as we talked about.
Yes.
Abby, before we wrap up this Saturday morning, let's get your information out there as well. It's Abby Leach at the Leach Office, and how do they get a hold of you?
Yeah, my office is here in town. It's at 205 South Washington, so right downtown. Otherwise, if you go to my website, it's Leach, Leach Law, AlbertLea.com, or you could Google it. I bet it would show up. And then on there is my email address, both cell and work phone numbers, so feel free to give us a call if you guys have any questions out there.
And of course, you can always give Tom a call at Americana Insurance.
Yep, give us a call at 507-377-2000, or you can email me, questions for the show also, or any other questions, at insights@americanainsurance.com, or you can go to our website, americanainsurance.com.
That's going to wrap up our Saturday edition of Insights into Insurance, put on by Americana Insurance here on Kate 1450.
You've been listening to Insights into Insurance from Americana Insurance Group. All information provided is intended to be educational in nature. Before acting upon any information obtained during the Insights into Insurance radio show broadcast, consult an appropriately licensed professional.